morning. Well, I definitely wasn't expecting to be out today. Storm Anthony came through yesterday, which had trees down in Devon, trains cancelled, roads closed, and the strongest ever gust that Devon has recorded in August. I think it was 78 miles an hour at Berry Head. So yeah, wasn't expecting to go out today at all. However, it's been a mixed start to the day. Like I say, I wasn't expecting to go out, so I didn't wake up for the tide, so I was about half an hour behind. And then I didn't have anything ready, so I stuck the GoPro on to charge while I was getting everything else ready. Left that at home, got to the boat, had to go back, pick up the GoPro. So I'm probably going to get about 3 hours on the water now on this tide, which I suspect is going to be long enough. There's going to be a bit of a residual swell from Storm Anthony that only passed in the early hours of the morning. The lookout station at Crawl Point gave the strongest gust of 27 knots at 4 o'clock this morning. Yeah, not expecting very much out of the day at all, to be honest. Now we're in the shot. If I can feather up a mackerel, I'll be extremely pleased. Anything more than that is a bonus, but it's pretty doubtful, to be honest. I had to get my car MOT'd on Friday, which meant a visit to the metropolis that is Newton Abbot, and rural Devon where I live is quite poor for exotic things like pickled ginger and wasabi, so we've stocked up on pickled ginger and wasabi, just need some raw mackerel to go with it. So if I can do that, that would be brilliant. If I get to the bar and have to turn around, then so be it. I've had a Sunday morning salt air fix. I'll bring you back when we're there and we'll have a look. Right, so we're just outside the bar, little place called Stero Bay, to assess the conditions. Don't know if you can pick that up really, but there is a residual swell. There's a bit of northwesterly picked up as well, which was forecast. Yeah, just going to have a look and see if there's any bird activity out there. I'm not going to go far out, but it's perfectly acceptable to just go a little way out and see if we can find some mackerel. So I've got, put this up here. Yeah, see if we can find some mackerel. So I've just got standard feathers. I'd normally put these on a spinning rod because it's more fun, but because of the chop, I've got it on a bigger rod with a 6-ounce lead instead of I'd normally just have a 2 or 3 ounce lead. And for the bottom two, I've just also hooked on some very small frozen sand eels. The water's very coloured after the storm yesterday, so obviously if the water's coloured, then it's going to be difficult for the sight predators to pick up lures. So I've just put those sand eels on to add a little bit of scent to it, yeah, we'll go out there and see if we can find anything. I hope I've caught some of that on camera. A large pod of dolphins. One jumped clear of the water. I won't have caught that. You always get the camera just after they've been. But yeah, they're jumping behind me now. Yeah, if I catch no fish today, that's made my day. That's an amazing sight. Right, let's see if we can find some mackerel. They're obviously hunting. hunting for mackerel was no good at all. So I've come out just a little bit further, not too far. The sea conditions not as bad as they first seemed. So there's still a very large swell occasionally, and the west wind has picked up a little bit as well. So I've come out to a little bit further to a wreck to try and find a bit of cleaner water. I've just stopped on it. I'm having a look at the direction of the drift, and I'll have half an hour here. Just try with the lure first, and then maybe try with a bit of bait, and see how we do with that. The drift direction is looking good. We're going to drift along the length of the wreck, so we'll get all of it in the drift. We've got wind with tide at the moment, so it's quite a swift drift. So I've gone for a 10-ounce lead. That's the heaviest I've got. I don't normally like fishing with heavier leads, but it needs must for today. So yeah, I've seen which way the drift's going now, so we'll swing around and go for the first drop. Right, first drop with the lure, see what it brings. These conditions are not easy. It's just windy and tidy, so I'm not that hopeful, but we'll give it a go. Coming out here, it's not that far, but the conditions are such that I couldn't get it on the plane. I was down to about 10 knots, and the hole that's designed to plane is not great if you're not on the plane. So doing 10 knots into the sea, some of them are just, when the wind and the swell combine, they're just uncomfortable. So yeah, with the wind just on the side of the boat, or just on the bow, it's slapping into them occasionally and taking one over the top. So as well as my salt air fix, I've got my salt water fix today. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be doable. There's just too much wind with tide. I'm over the wreck. The line's nearly horizontal. So we're drifting at 3.4 knots in 70 metres of water. I'm literally getting the boat to a position where I can drop it on the start of the wreck. I'll get to work the lure about 3 times if I'm lucky, and that's it, I'm off the wreck. Well, I just came for a second final drift. Didn't even switch the camera on because I wasn't really expecting much. But it's come good. We're not blanked. Well, I haven't got it in yet. Care, to be honest. But it feels nice. Now that is a chunk of a pollock. Can we get the hook out? Pliers for that one. I don't normally keep pollock, but I do know a few people that like them, and that is too good a fish to return. I'll pop him on the scales and let you know. Just took another face full of sea, repositioning. That's the lure, if you can see with the sun in this direction. Sidewinder Joey, my favourite lure, has been for years. Right, if there's decent fish on it, we'll go for a third final drift. I tried weighing that fish, but it's a bit awkward out here with the sea. It was bouncing around between 6.5 and nearly 8, so I'll call it 7, which it's not the biggest pollock in the world, but for the inshore fish that we normally get around here, it is a good fish, and I'm very happy with it. Still a 3-knot drift, which is, yeah, not ideal. Have a little touch on the second lower in there, so might just try for one final drift, otherwise we'll be pushing it for tide if we go more than that. Right, very last final drift, otherwise yeah, I can't be late for the tide. Sorry about the sun on these. If I turn it round so that it's better for filming, I'm fishing underneath the boat, and I don't like doing that at the best of times. And with 3 knots of drift, it's yeah, it's no fun at all. So yeah, slightly silhouetted pictures, I'm afraid. Right, last drift. What will it bring? Didn't fight like a pollock at all. Normally ones that sort of size, they'll dive, but that didn't at all. It was rattling about more like a massive pout than a pollock. That is a good fish as well. That was a dive, more like a pollock. good fish. Definitely worth that last final drift. Come on. Oh, yeah, this is definitely pollock. It's just another dive then. I'm winding, but it's taking now and again. These 2-speed lever drags are really coming to their own. Colour, what have we got? Nose in the net. And if anything, that one is a little bit bigger. Just lip hooked. There we are, that's that gone. And that is, again, another chunk of a pollock. That's blown, as you can see, so that one's coming home with me as well. Right, that's it on the tide, so I'll get in, have a little bit of a tidy up of this stuff. I'll get a bit closer in where it's calmer and have a little end of the day chat there. Well, there we are. An unexpected day out after the storm yesterday. No mackerel, no idea where they are. The last few seasons it's been really difficult to catch mackerel off Devon, or certainly off this part of Devon. Don't know whether the tuna have got anything to do with it. There seems to be loads in Cornwall, but they're starting to catch tuna. I haven't seen any yet this year, but they've been catching them off Plymouth on the tag and release scheme, so it could be something to do with that. Don't know. Conditions are awful for them today though. Coloured water after the storm. Went a little bit further out, still no good, still coloured water. A little bit further out again, and the yeah, and the pollock came out. So I weighed those, and they are bang on 8 and just under 7. That other one was, and hopefully there'll be some footage. If not, you'll just have to trust me, but the dolphins were absolutely spectacular. Really difficult to catch on a GoPro, particularly with my camera skills, but yeah, they were spectacular, jumping clear of the water on several occasions, which I don't think I managed to catch on camera, but they were there. So that would have done me as it was for a day, but then to get out to that wreck, a new wreck for me, in over 3 knots of tide and 70 meters of water, not ideal, but great to get out. Opportunities to get out have been few and far between this year, so you've got to take it when you can. I'm going to clean these up, have a wash down, get back up the river. Hope you enjoyed that nice couple of fish, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.